Hey guys, what's going on? This is Nasa here in Charlotte, and I just wanted to walk you through my last transaction. It was a little different, and maybe you guys can pick up some tips from it. So let me just get this door open. Well, basically, this is a three-bedroom, one-bathroom home, and this came from a direct mail campaign. Throughout the direct mail campaign, I came across a guy. He said, this is like, I got the property in the contract, I want to say of, October of 2012. And the guy told me, he said, hey, look, I got an issue. He said, I got a problem. He said, I got a property that I inherited. I just found out this time last year, so it was 2012, the fourth quarter of 2012. He said, hey, look, I just found out the fourth quarter of 2011 that my father left me a property. He said, he told me straight up, he said, man, I didn't choose real estate. This pretty much chose me. And he basically just told me, he said, look, I don't want anything, he said, I don't want anything to do with this. He said, man, I just want to get rid of the property. And the problem was, he had tenants in the property that were not paying him. And he didn't have no money to do any type of eviction. He didn't have any money to do an eviction. He lived about 45 minutes away from the property. He said, look, I don't even have gas money to come here to the property and even do the repairs that were needed, because it's a lot of repairs needed in the house. And so I said, look, as an investor, as a wholesaler, basically what you want to do, you want to create solutions. I said, how about this? How about we, you let me buy the property, but being that you have a tenant issue, give me about 90 days in the contract, because before I close on it, I need to get the tenants out. So with that being said, I said, look, you don't have to come to Charlotte. We can email and fax the particular contracts and back and forth. And once we email those back and forth, I said, you just sign it, fax it back, or email it back, and we get it done like that. He said, great. I said, man, you don't even have to come to Charlotte. I said, if you want, we can have the money wired into your account as well once we're done with the transaction. He said, great. So this is October. I had 90 days in the contract, and it has some tenants that are not paying. So what I had to do, not only did I send him over a contract, an assignable contract, I also sent him over a sub-lease agreement. That sub-lease agreement that he signed gave me power to manage the property in the case that I had to do an eviction. Because what happens is, in the state of North Carolina, you need a realtor's license to manage a property. And I don't have a realtor's license, so what I had to do, I signed a sublease agreement. So in the event I had to do an eviction, that I can go to court with the sublease agreement and the contract they had to pursue the eviction. And I wanted to do the eviction first before I close, so of course, so I can get my buyers in at the property. So once we got the paperwork done, I said, okay, before we go through the court process, let's see if we can shorten the time. I sent a letter to the tenant saying that I was buying the property. Actually, my partner sent it saying that we were buying the property and you would like to talk. They called us back, and they said, hey, come look at the property. And they showed us things in the property. Like one of the things, this floor has a dip. This floor has a dip. You probably can't see it on camera, but what could potentially happen is the tenants could fall through this floor. So they had their reasons not to pay, because the house is unsafe. It's definitely unsafe. And here, the subfloor needs to be replaced. And that's just one of the issues that need to be taken care of in the house. But so somebody had to rip this floor and replace the subfloor, and he didn't have any money to do such a thing. So it walked us through, showed us all the issues. So we said, okay, we want to work with you guys, and you know they were really nice people. We want to work with you guys, and we'll get back to you. So we was like, yeah, you know, we did our numbers and everything, and said, you know, let's see if we could come back and offer them some money. We offered them, came back face to face and said, hey, look, we need you guys out the property. Reason being because we have to rip out this floor. The bathtub has to come out, and the plumbing under there has to be redone because the bathroom is holding water. If you just walk back here with me, let me show you the bathroom. Is holding water, and the way they had to take baths was they had to scoop a bucket in the tub to get the water out once they were done. But I guess for free rent, you know, it's some things you'll put up with. So if you come in here in the tub, it's water in the tub. Also, the bathroom floor, same thing in here, it has to be ripped out and replaced. So, and they would just take a bucket and get the water out. Now, the water is still sitting in there. That plumbing has to be replaced. So, with that being said, you know, we pointed out all the issues and said, look, we'll give you $250 if you move. And they were more than happy to take it. And with that being said, so we said, look, we're gonna pay you $250 on the day you move. So we're gonna work with you. You know, we were calling them and everything. So and they were picked up the phone. They didn't do anything shady, and everything they said they were going to do, they were going to do. They started looking for a place to move. They wanted to move by December, which was ideal for everybody. But unfortunately, it took till January 1st for them to move out, but being that they were so cooperative throughout the property, they were letting us get our buyers in and out. I didn't even have to come. They would just open the door and just show them the property and let the buyers come in and out. Very cooperative people. So with that being said, but during the course of this, the owner, apparently, I didn't know this from the beginning, his siblings had inherited properties too. And he would say, hey, how their process was moving along, and his wasn't. I told him, hey, look, I saw you in the beginning of the process, we had to do an eviction, and, you know, we're just working with the tenants to get them out the property first, and it could potentially take up to 3 to 4 months. And he said, no, this, that, and the third, and he seemed kind of shaky, because he was telling me, man, look, I got some personal issues going on in my life, I need money. I'm not working, I need money. So I said, okay, great. I said, what can I do to get this guy cashed out and go forward with the particular transaction? So what I did, I had this property contracted at $15,000. The sales in the neighborhood are between, I want to say, $21,000 and $27,000 for rental properties in this particular neighborhood. That I need work. Now those were the cash transactions we're at. So with that being said, I had decided, I said, okay, I called up my credit card company and I had some money. I did a balance transfer from my credit card to buy this house. And with the balance transfer, when you do it, sometimes the credit card company might send you checks, or sometimes they can just direct the money, do a direct deposit into your account. And I have another video, PNC, when they screwed me over, the worst bank ever. But anyway, I got the money, the balance transfer to my account so I can buy the property and everything. So what I did was I got the direct, I gave them the account information. They said yeah, it'd take between 1 to 5 days to transfer the money onto the new account. Now when you do a balance transfer, expect to pay a one-time transfer fee, and I think on this particular case, the money was like 3% a month, and I had the money less than a month. I knew I wasn't going to need the money in the full month. It's just basically funding my own transactional funding. If I'd have went through a company For transactional funding, I paid a flat fee of $1,200. It's a company by Lyman Capital here in Charlotte and here in Atlanta as well, and they do transactional funding for $1,200. But that's just, I don't know if they do 30 to 45 day transactional funding. So I need the money longer than 45 minutes when transactional funding is usually 45 minutes to a day when they let you borrow the money. But anyway, I took some money from a credit card and used my own money and cashed him out. So that way, I had the title. The seller couldn't run off and try and deal with anybody else because now the house is legally mine. And I had it on the MLS. Some of you guys know from some of my other videos, I like to do flat fee MLS listings. And right now, Charlotte has a hot market, so people are overpaying. So, for example, I was advertising this property for $22,000 to investors, and I was getting some interest, and really I didn't get any offers. But on the MLS, I put the property. I actually undersold myself. It's a hot market in Charlotte. I probably could have got more. I put the property on the MLS for $24,800. I got an offer for $24,500. So, and I said, of course. And basically, we're wrapping this transaction up. This transaction should close this coming Monday, and that's basically it. I hope you guys pulled a few tips from that. How to just get creative and using balance transfer from your credit cards to purchase houses, selling the house using flat fee MLS listings. Also, if somebody says they have some non-cooperative tenants and you might have to do an eviction, getting a sublease agreement, so therefore you have you can prove that you're actually managing the property legally. So with that being said, I'm Nasa, the real estate guru. Please subscribe to the channel. It's a subscribe button right under the video. So just push that subscribe button for me. And I'm signing off, man. Until next time, man. Thanks for tuning in.